Yes, this is correct. This is the clan video. But I'll be explaining some things. But for those who just want to watch a video right away, who don't want to hear this nonsense, check to this timestamp. Go to this timestamp and you should be at the video. Okay, anyways, for those who are sticking around and watching the beginning real quick, this isn't the finished clan video, okay? Because as I said before, I'm not happy with it, but this video has taken a lot out of me, and I feel like it's not fair if I don't show you what I've done. And that's what this is for. I want to show you what I've done. So the entire point of the clan video is finding out the clan relationships. I didn't get there, so you're kind of just watching the whole build-up, but no payoff. But I mean, it's still a good build-up. I mean, yeah. So yeah, that's all I want to say. Enjoy the video. I'll probably put like an outro. Yeah, I will put an outro. Anyways, enjoy. Yate, it is what you think. This video is the clan video. But first, we gotta start off with the Navajo word of the day. And this word's gonna be very simple. This one's gonna be yate. Okay, this one has multiple meanings, okay? Yate. What does yate mean? Yate means good, hello, you know, nijune in a way. It could be like, it has multiple meanings. But the main use for it is hello or hi, you know, what's up? That's what yate means. Anyways, roll the intro. Yate shik ero shirane, she a liner yunishe, do net in the shinigi a shinishle, to a gleany bushes chin, as a flana dushin she, kinyani dushanella. Now wait, do you see what I did there? For those who don't know, that was a Navajo introduction. Now, what is a Navajo introduction? Well, it consists of your name and clan affiliation. But, what are clans? Well, for the people who don't know, they are a form of identity for the Navajo or Diné people. Word of note, I'm going to be using the word Diné and Navajo interchangeably. For those who don't know, Diné means Navajo in the Navajo language. Alright, back to the video. Now, sharing a clan affiliation defines where we come from, not specifically a location, but more as a group, a clan group. These groups are considered family to us Diné people because our culture heavily revolves around the idea of ke, which means family. Now for a little history. The Diné people have started with 4 original clan groups, and these clans are Kiani, Hanagatni, Torochitni, and Hashkushni. And these clans are involved with a clan system that was changing women's way of telling the Diné people their identity. Nowadays, there are over 50 individual clans along with 21 different clan groups. And my job here today is to help you navigate your way through the clan system to avoid situations like this. Hey, what's your clan? What's your second clan? Toheglini. Why? You're my uncle, dude. Nah, I always wanted an uncle, dude. Oh. Uncle? I'm his uncle? He's like 10 years older than me. Plus, I just met him today. Who is this guy? Or this. Hey, Mom. I asked her out. She said, yeah. Where? Denny's. Romantic, I know. Yeah, I asked her clans. She's my Dishkizes. And I know we're not my Dishkizes, so it's not a problem, right? Right? What do you mean we're related? I thought we weren't. How? Since when? When did? No one told me about this. I didn't know this thing existed. What? Clan groups? What? Hakushi, let's start with clan group 1. All these clans you see right here are related to one another, no matter what. All these clans are related to each other because they're consistent with one clan group. Hakushi, got it? And that can mean you're related to a Batadni even though you're Kiani, okay? Even though they're not the same clan, you're still related because they are involved with one clan group. Now let's take it a step further and use an example to help you understand. Alright, now there's a Kiani and a Nadan Dene, right? The person you like is Nadan Dene and you are Kiani. Do you date them? No, of course you don't. Yeah, don't ever do that. Now how about if they're tall, honey? Why yes, oh, you can. But listen, if that example is too much for you, I got a better one involving note cards. Alright, let's begin. What we have here are 4 different clan groups. we have the first clan group, second, third, and fourth, all right? And if you notice, they all have the 4 original clans, which are Kia'ani, Hanagatni, Torech'itni, and Hashklishni. All right, now let's do some more tests, okay? The reason why these are all different colors are so it's easier to comprehend the idea of a clan group. So let's begin with Na'dant-Dene'e, right? So Na'dant-Dene'e is related to which of these clan groups? To make it easier, I associated each clan with each of the corresponding clan group colors. So Na'dant-Dene'e is related to every single one of these clans, including Kia'ani. All right, now let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to Torech'itni. Now you're probably gonna guess, oh, it goes to the yellow, right? Well, of course it does, because Torech'itni is also related to Torech'itni. And you can see Torech'itni is right below Oge. Next, we're gonna move on to Lok'adene'e. Okay, this is too easy now. We're gonna associate this with green. So Lok'adene'e is gonna be related to Hashklishni. Now, how about To'ahane? Obviously purple, right? So Hanagatni and To'ahane are related, along with all these other clan groups. All right, easy ones out of the way. Now, how about Ashihi? What is Ashihi related to? Now, this is a trick question because Ashihi isn't related to any of them. Because, as you can see, in clan group 1, you do not see Ashihi. Along with clan group 2, 3, and 4. Ashihi is not related to any of these clan groups. Hagoshi, all right, well, that is all the examples I have for this segment. And if you have any more questions, I highly recommend these online resources. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of clan groups and clans. But let's move on to the next subject. Now we're moving on to the Navajo clan system. The Navajo clan system over here. Well, if you don't know, within the Navajo community, the explanation of the Navajo clan system itself is a tad bit complicated if you didn't already know. In fact, there's been jokes made about them, memes in fact, you know. But what I hope to accomplish with this video is that you learn some basic understanding of the Navajo clan system. And just maybe, it sparks enough curiosity for you to go learn more. And if that's the case, I feel like I've done my job with this video. Hagoshi, well, let's begin. Grab your popcorn, go grab a can of Spam because listen, you're gonna be here for a while. All right, in order to begin, we need to do some more deep level understanding, more particularly with where an individual gets their clans from, and also understanding the proper family terms Diné people use. All right, well, let's take me for example. These are my 4 clans. We got Ashihi, To'ahia, Glini, Ezeslane, and Kia'ani, right? All right. So where do these clans come from? Well, they stem from my parents, which they get from their parents, which are my grandparents. Look at this cute diagram I made for you. My first and third clan stem from my mother's first 2 clans. And my second and fourth clan stem from my father's first 2 clans. And if we go one more generation back, we see that all my clans stem from my grandparents on both my mother and father's side. As you can see, my mother's mother, also known as Shimasane in Diné Etche, has my first clan, which is Ashihi. And my second clan, To'ahia Glini, comes from my father's mother, which is also known as Shanela Istan. Back to my mother's side, my third clan stems from my mother's father, which is also known as Shiche in Diné Etche. And finally, my last clan, Kia'ani, which comes from my father's father, which is also known as Shanela Hastin in Diné Etche. These are where my clans come from, and this is how many of you get your clans too. And this is why clanships and k'eh are so important. It defines who we are as Diné people. We are all given unique identities with our clans. In fact, there are over 100,000 combinations of clans out there. Oh, coffee break. All right, now that we know where our clans come from, we can now start discussing the proper terms Navajos use when referring to a specific family member. And boy, this is gonna get complicated, all right? So repack your snacks and get going again. All right, we already went over some of the terms, but in case you forgot, here's a refresher. Shema means my mother. Shije'e means my father. Shimasana means my grandma from my mother's side. Shiche means my grandpa from my mother's side. And Shanela Istan means my grandma from my father's side. And Shanela Hastin means my grandpa from my father's side. Whew, got it? All right, good. All right, but what if I have siblings? Well, they have proper terms too. All right, well, let's begin. Shadeje means my little sister. Shatile means my little brother. Shade means my older sister. And Shanae means my older brother. All right, trust me, All these terms are very necessary, and we're not even done yet. Because what if my parents have siblings? What do I call my aunt and uncles? Well, this is where it starts to get tricky. Well, let's focus on my mother's side for now. So if my mother had a brother and sister, we would refer to them as Shadae, Shadae being my uncle from my mother's side. But hold on there. If you're female, you wouldn't refer to him as Shadae. Instead, you would be referring him as Shiyaj. I know, confusing. But moving on, Shemayeje is the proper term for using auntie on my mother's side. Let's move on to my father's side. What if my father had a brother and sister? Well, we would refer to them as Shije'yeje and Shibije. Shije'yeje meaning my uncle from my father's side, and Shibije meaning my auntie from my father's side. I should note that Shibije isn't really a term many Navajos would use. In fact, they would just use the other word Shemayeje too. And I don't know who came up with that really, and it's just the way it is. So you can also refer to Shibije as Shemayeje, but the proper term is Shibije. It really just depends how close you are to your auntie from your father's side. But wait. What if they have children of their own? See how complex it gets? It's astonishing, really. Back to my mother's side. So, if Shadae had children of his own, of son and daughter, well, I would refer to his son as Shishna'ash, no matter the age actually. And with his daughter, I would refer to her as Shizere, no matter the age too. Fun fact, a lot of these terms have different versions depending on gender. In this case, I'm a male in these examples. But if you were a female, you would not refer to Shadae's son as Shishna'ash, but rather Shizere too, because Shishna'ash is supposed to be used between two male family members. Confusing? I know. We'll see this example again shortly. Now what if Shemayeje had children of her own, a son and daughter? What would I refer to them as? I would refer to them as siblings. Now wait, I already have siblings. What would I call my cousins, my brothers and sisters? Well, this is where things get a little interesting. So you remember how we get our clans as individuals? Well, let's look back at that. If we look at this diagram and see Shemayeje and her children, we see that our first and third clan line up perfectly, thus creating that sibling relationship. Now let's take this example with Shadae, or Shiyaje for female. As you can see, Shadae's children's second and fourth clan are the same as my first and third, but they don't line up perfectly as Shemayeje's children's do, correct? Oh, yes. And that's why we have different terms for our family. You can see how clans play a big role in K'e. Now that we know the fact why we call our Shemayeje's children our siblings, we can move forward with the proper terms for them, which are Shanai, Shatsile, Shadeje, and Shede, depending on age and gender. Now we can move away from our mother's side and move to Shije'e's side. Now that we're on Shije'e's side, you would think we'd use the same terms as we did from our Shema's side, right? Not exactly, but almost. Let me show you. Because if we look at Shibije's children, we would refer to them as Shishna'ash or Shizere. Now wait, I thought we'd refer to them as siblings too. The gut, no, not really. Not really. No, I mean. Well, let's look at a diagram again. And here we can see our cousins from our father's sides, their clans. And if we look particularly at Shibije's children, we can see that their first and third clan are my second and fourth clan. As you can see, they don't quite line up, thus no need for any sibling relationship terms. But if we look at Shije'ye's children, we can see that their second and fourth clan do line up with ours. So they are considered siblings to us. Thus, we can use the good old Shanai, Shadesh, Shadeja, Shatsila terms. Alright, so we know what to call our grandparents, our siblings, our aunt and uncles, and our cousins, right? We're done. No, the gut. Oh. Because although we know which term to call each family member, well, let's switch it around. What do they call me? I have to consider that some of you are older and have families of your own, or in some cases are even grandparents. And we have to consider those terms as well. I'll try to make this quick, but I mean, no promises. Shamasana and Shiche would refer to me as Shitsui. And Shanela Asan and Shanela Hastin would refer to me as Shanele. That one's a little easy. Shama would refer to me as Shiaj, but if I were her daughter, she would refer to me as Shiche. And Shiche would refer to me as Shiyit. Or in this case, if I was his daughter, he would refer to me as Shitsit. And Shemayeje would refer to me as Shiaj. Or in this case, if I were a niece, she would also refer to me as Shiche. Shadae would refer to me as Shadae. Or in this case, if I were a female, he would refer to me as Shema. Odd, isn't it? We know at this point. And Shije'yeje would refer to me as Shikis or Shiyit. Or if I were his niece, it'd be shila or shitsit, depending on how close you are to your nieces or nephews. Shibiji, or shamayaj too, would refer to me as shiyaj, and if I were her niece, she would refer to me as shiche. And finally, cousins. We would refer to each other as siblings or cousins depending on the situation. Just like if they were from Shemayajo or Shajayaja's children, then we would refer to each other as a good old Shanaya, Shadish, Shatila, and Shadeja terms. But if they were our Shabija and Shadai's children, then we would use the proper Shishna Ash term if we're both males, and Shizeda for every other situation. Good, we are done discussing family terms. We can take a little breather now. Okay, all this explanation, all this in-depth analysis was for one topic alone. And this topic, clan relationships. Feel this darkness of this atmosphere, count my little scars I've got. We kind of touched base in this topic when discussing the terms, but not fully in its entirety. Cool, let's begin. This topic's gonna be broken up into 4 parts, or scenarios, as you will. Cool, refill your snacks and let's go. Part 1 of defining the clan relationships. In this section, we're gonna be discussing all possible relationship scenarios you can have with your first clan only, okay? In this case, we're gonna be using my first clan, and if you forgot, it's Ashi, or it's also part of clan group 7. All right, now let's start with scenario 1. In this example, this will be me, and this will be the scenarios we are given. All right, Hagoshi. So if my first clan is a Shihi, and their first clan was also a Shihi, or had clans that are part of clan group 7, then we would refer to each other with these terms. Take a screenshot if you need to, because we're gonna look at a diagram on why this is the case. Now remember the family diagram we had for defining my first clan? Well, if we plug in each scenario in which my first clan works with all these other clans, we can see where all these terms can be used. We can see it being used as our siblings or cousins, you know, or our parents, or they can also be referring each other as grandparents. Now remember, if both of your first clans are the same or from the same clan group, then you would refer to each other as these terms, or vice versa. If you need any more help, you can always rewind. Now let's move on to scenario 2. If the person's second clan is Ashihi or any other clan from clan group 7, then I would refer to them as my children, nephew, nieces, parents, or grandparents, but not as siblings, because if we look at the diagram, we can see all possible relationships. And notice that siblings are not included. Alright, I'm sorry we're not getting into the clan relationships yet. The thing is, I want to remaster this entire video, okay? So it's just gonna take a lot more work. I'm gonna restart from the beginning. There's some parts I have critiques with. I feel like it could have been a lot better in some parts, like, you know, describing the family relationship terms. Like, I would rather have a female do that side rather than, rather than me do it for them. It just makes more sense in a Diné cultural way, in my opinion. And so, yeah, I want to do that. I want to do less of a static shot like this. You know how I'm like in a room boxed in? I kind of want to have like another cameraman to kind of like follow me and do some cool shots. And so that's what I want to include in the next video too. I don't want it to just be in like one room. It feels a little boring in my opinion. On my end, it's just kind of boring on my end because I just can't like, but I just can't like focus in like one room. It's hard to focus on one room, okay? It's so hard. And it's just so much more fun. And you have freedom to walk around and teach people. So, but yeah, yeah, it really means a lot for you to finish this video, even sticking around to this point. Like and subscribe. Please share the, excuse my language, but share the fuck out of this video, please. It means so much to me. I put so much effort. This is what the point of this channel was, to teach you all what the net is, and this is part of it. This is a big part of it. And so it would mean a lot to me if you could share and like this video. Yeah, yeah, so I'll update you on like the gist of everything. So please again, share it. Please share this video. It means so much to me. Yeah, go on it.